Alright guys, it's your boy, I'm Captain Sam, and I'm coming back again with another video.
It's payday, fellas! I said it's fucking payday, motherfucker!
Today we're going to talk about something that probably hasn't been talked about a lot regarding hunting and the different types of hunting and different aspects and what different types of hunting bring in to the equation. For the first time, I'm going to try to incorporate as much types of specifically deer hunting as I can into this video. I'm kind of going off at the top of the dome, but I'm going to talk about bow hunting. I'm going to talk about rifle hunting. I'm going to talk about muzzleloader hunting. I'm going to talk about running with dogs. I'm going to talk about deer drives with man-made drives. I'm going to talk about hunting deer in the ground blind, just different types of hunting, different advantages and disadvantages. I'm talking about bow hunting. So bow hunting, when you bow hunt deer, it's more personal. That's one thing that people like about it. It's more personal, it's more rewarding typically, and it's more challenging. You're not out there with a rifle, you have limited range, and you're having to go into the deer's habitat and get close with them. Try to remain undetected. Place a tight shot on a deer using a bow. You have long bows, you have recurves, and you have compounds. Now, there are people out there that hunt traditionally using man-made broadheads, using man-made shafts for their arrows, and they just feel like that is kind of going back to the roots. And then you get into more the compound bow where you get some range, and if you're I forget his name, but if you're that one YouTuber that can shoot out to 180 yards, you know what I'm saying, then you don't really have that much limited range, but more fluent, it's more consistent. And so people love compound bows for that reason. They're typically two ways, either in the blind or they're in a tree stand. Usually if they're in a tree stand, they're anywhere from 15 to 25 feet. They're up above the ground, so the scent is not carrying on the same level as the deer. It also has some disadvantages. You are out in the open typically, and the deer can kind of smell you if they're a further enough distance from you. The second way is usually they hunt in the blind if they're not hunting in a tree stand, and with that you're kind of concealed. They can't really see you, but you're on the eye level of the deer, which if they notice any movement, you can scare them off and you can spook them. And you have to shoot, a lot of times you have to shoot to little tight windows, which is kind of tough also. Bow hunting just offers a different type of feeling. Like I said, you're a lot more personal with the deer, and actually connecting with a deer, connecting your arrow with the deer in the right spot is very rewarding, just because it's more inconsistent than a rifle. And so it's a lot more up to chance. Shooting a bow is typically, more rewarding, but not to say it's the best type of hunting, because, best type of hunting is based on, what you believe, how you've grown up. Different outside influences affect your belief of which type is the best hunting. But bow hunting is definitely something that if you haven't tried it, you need to go try it, because it's a lot different than a lot of other types of hunting that I'm going to talk about. Let's get into rifle, muzzleloader, and shotgun hunting. Now let me tell you something. Shotgun hunting, my favorite. Obviously I do it all the time. Obviously that's what I do when I use dogs. Obviously that's something that I want to continue to do, continue to make videos about, continue to post so that y'all can enjoy it, because I'm out there enjoying it. But getting into the rifle and muzzleloader realm, with a rifle, depending on what caliber you have, depending on what rifle you have, you can have up to around 100 to 1200 meters in range, depending on what caliber you have. That if you have like 338 Lapua, or you have a 308, or you have a couple of those rounds that can go out there, you're able to shoot farther, and you're able to connect farther with different types of animals, specifically deer, especially. And so with that, you will have a less personal connection with the deer, less personal experience. It's still hunting nonetheless, because a lot of people that are shooting those long distance shots, they are in the mountains, or they're somewhere where it's hard to get close to deer, and so they're using those rifles in order to connect and make the kill. Rifle hunting is also awesome, man. It's challenging in its own way. All these different types of hunting have different challenges. And rifle hunting has, you have to be accurate. You have to be an accurate shooter. You have to be able to adjust accordingly, especially for the long shots, for the 500 yard, 600 yard shots. You have to be able to adjust accordingly, know your rifle, know your scope, and be able to pinpoint exactly where you want to hit and exactly where you need to aim. And so the popular pool, the popular shows, they're hunting over these food plots where the deer have been there and they've been eating there every day, and there's a secluded food plot where nobody's bothering them. They're going to be there, and you're going to hit them, and you're in these box blinds. And so a lot of people criticize that and call that not real hunting, but a lot of people call a lot of things not real hunting. So I think that as long as you love hunting the way you do, as long as it's ethical, as long as it's legal, then it shouldn't be a problem with anybody. I feel like everybody should embrace all types of hunting, because only hunters can bring hunters down. I feel like we need to stick together, because with all these rules and all this stuff coming out, people need to be able to still practice hunting. It's probably one of the most natural and one of the most types of forms of outdoorsmanship that's been around for centuries. So we need to be supporting every type of hunting, supporting rifle hunting, as long as it doesn't hinder other types of hunting and hinder other cultures of hunting the way they do things. I'm gonna try every single type of hunting, because it's just I want the full experience. I want to be able to call myself a true outdoorsman. So let's get into my favorite, personally, deer dog drives. Now, I'm very passionate about this. This is something that all the southern states do on the East Coast. I'm talking Virginia, I'm talking North Carolina, I'm talking Maryland, I'm talking South Carolina, I'm talking Georgia, I'm talking Florida, I'm talking Louisiana, Alabama. All those states do deer dog hunting, and I'm telling you right now, it's one of the most adrenaline rushing types of forms of hunting that there is. Especially when you hear, they chase it. It's almost like rabbit hunting. If many of you probably run rabbits with dogs, it's like rabbit hunting, but with deer, and it's a lot more. It's a lot different. It's a lot harder. I'm gonna say it's a lot harder because rabbits are pretty fast, but it's a lot harder than you would expect to hit a deer running with a shotgun between trees, and trying to make an ethical shot. It's very hard, but it is one of the most rewarding types of hunting when you get into it, and when you actually get to make a kill, because it's not guaranteed that you're gonna make a kill. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna see a deer. Nothing's guaranteed, and the thing about it is, you hear those dogs get close to you, your adrenaline starts pumping. It's boop 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 boop, and it's your job to stop those dogs. It's your job to drop that deer. It's your job, So it's really adrenaline rushing, man. You never know, like you don't know what's coming on the other side of what's on the front of them dogs, and the opportunity to shoot at a nice buck it's just very exciting. It's just very an ethical way of hunting. And the thing is, people see that as not an ethical shot, but an ethical way of hunting. A lot of times, because they think that you can wound deer and go off. You can wound deer with anything. You can be a bad bow shot. You can be a bad bowman and shoot an arrow straight into the back end of the animal on accident because you jerked, and that animal's gonna be maimed and injured. The same way that if I make a bad shot, the deer's gonna be maimed and injured, and I may not find them, and I'm gonna do my best to find them. But if I don't find them, I'm saying, there's nothing I can do about that. I messed up. And so, and you hate to see that type of stuff, but it happens with every type of hunting. You can make a bad shot with a rifle. You can make a bad shot with a muzzleloader. You can make a bad shot with a shotgun. You can make a bad shot with anything, any weapon that you're using. And so, when people say that it's not the real type of hunting, I don't understand that, because it's a form of hunting that's legal. It's a form of hunting that's come up in the culture. And if you do it with the rabbit, then it's the same thing. So, I would say go try it. It's very fun. It's more adrenaline pumping than a bow hunt. It's more adrenaline pumping than a rifle hunt. It's very ethical, and nothing's guaranteed. But I guarantee you, when you get that shot at that big buck that you've been looking for, you'll be happy. I hope y'all liked the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's your boy, I Am Captain Sam, signing out.